I go back a year ago exactly at this time. We were sitting where John and Christy were, and Charlie, you had a comment for a man who was about to go into his second season at VCU.
I did, and I kept it all year, too. I said, Shaka, you won 27 games last year, the most of any first-year coach. How in the world can you top it? Well, brother, you did.
Thanks, Charlie. Well, the best thing we did was we were able to have you do so many of our games on TV, and our winning percentage was terrific in those games. So I'm hoping this year we can do more of the same.
We can't get this conversation started without, first of all, congratulating you and the program for everything that you accomplished. And we're going to take a look at some of those NCAA tournament run highlights. Have you been able to kind of move past it, or do you still want to embrace it? And shouldn't you still want to embrace everything you guys accomplished?
Well, a little bit of both. We certainly want to take advantage of the success we had last year. It helps you in recruiting. It helps you with your fans. I think our national brand has been enhanced by the fact that we made that deep run. But at the same time, this year's team needs to understand that last year's Final Four run is not going to win us any games. Now, we can really learn from what happened last year, both the positives that came out of last year and also the setbacks that we faced at times in the season, and I think we can benefit from those.
We've got to talk about Bradford Burgess. I think one of the best players in the CAA, probably one of the better players in the country this year. He had a great tournament. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's coming off an ankle injury, Charlie, that slowed him down for much of the preseason. Still not quite 100%, but he's practicing. His attitude's been terrific. I think he's starting to embrace the role of a senior leader. Right. He's looked around a couple times in practice and noticed, hey, Joey's not here, Brandon's not here, Jamie's not here, and I think he's realizing it's my time.
You mentioned obviously those are huge losses, but during that run you were able to get, and throughout the entire year, able to get guys like Rob Brandenburg, Javante Reddick, some freshmen, DJ Haley, who is a 7-foot, as you say, force to be reckoned with when he gets it all together. That has to help, too, to be able to get those young players great experience as the season went on and what turned out to be such a successful season.
Well, not only do they have experience, but they have winning experience, and I think there's a big difference. Now, the roles that they played, other than Brad, were largely secondary roles. Now they have to step into primary roles in order for our team to be successful. So that's going to be an interesting storyline for our team as the season unfolds. How many of those guys are comfortable and willing to step into a primary role and do it well?
Player that really interests me, and Al and I have talked about him, DJ Haley. You started him throughout the tournament. I thought he did a tremendous job keeping you legit on the backboards. How's he progressing? Well,
Charlie, he's been the most pleasant surprise on our team since Friday's first day of practice. Right. Now, we're early in the practice season, so there's a lot of basketball left to be played. But he has demonstrated that he can be a phenomenal player for us, not so much on a statistical basis because he's not really a stat stuffer, but he's such an impact player in terms of what he does physically and the way that he can affect his teammates with energy.
There's always been a great run of talent and success at VCU before last year as well, and it seems like every time we've done a game, Charlie, we've always talked about terrific point guard play from Eric Maynard to Joey Rodriguez. Who takes over that very important role this year?
Well, 2 years ago, we sat here and we talked about who took over for Maynard. And everybody doubted Joey because he was moving over from the shooting guard spot. All he did was lead the conference in assists and make one of the all-conference teams as a junior. And then obviously we know what he did as a senior. Now Darius Theus is in a similar position. People are saying, well, he was the backup. He did some good things at times, but what is he going to do as your primary guy? Well, I think it's going to be an exciting thing to watch. I'm excited for him because really since the season ended, he's taken on a leadership role with our team. He's been very vocal, and he's understanding that those guys are gone and now it's my time.
Who are some of the newcomers that we may be looking at to get some minutes? And you talked about how your terrific run really has helped in recruiting. Are we going to see a little benefit of that early, or is that still to come?
Well, it's still early to know, and we're not really changing our recruiting philosophy. I think what's helped us in recruiting with the Final Four is that there's much more recognition, particularly outside of Virginia and outside of this region. Everybody's seen us play, and everybody knows what we did last year in the NCAA tournament. In terms of this year's freshmen, we have 4 of them. They all are in the running for time right now, and they all are a few bad practices away from being on the bench. You know how that is. But Breonte Weber is a guard. He's from the Tidewater area, 6'2", about 150 pounds soaking wet. But he's ideal for our style of play, extremely good defensive player, and the most energetic player I've ever been around. Teddy Okafor is a point guard. He's 6'3", 6'4", got great size at that position. He can really handle the ball, good using ball screens. Travion Graham is a 6'5" shooting guard who's somewhat of a Brad Burgess light, although he's bigger and stronger than Brad was as a freshman. So if he can train and learn under him, I think his future's bright. And then Jared Guest is a 6'8", power forward, although there's not much about him that's power right now. He's only about 205 pounds, but he is a terror on the offensive glass and a very good athlete and good shooter.
Oh, great. Shaka, we want to say once again congratulations on all you and the young men in the program accomplished. It's been great to watch. It was great for the CAA, and we look forward to much more in the year to come.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate it. Shaka Smart, the head coach for the men at Virginia Commonwealth University.
Go to ESPN3 for the complete replay of the 2011 CAA Basketball Media Day Live.